Hi, my name's Sally Jones and I'm the International Officer at the University of South Wales. I visit Brunei approximately 2 to 3 times a year, and about a year ago I met Spencer and Javier at Laksamana College. They were interested in studying with the University of South Wales, so throughout the year I helped them prepare their applications and answered their questions. And a year on, here they are. They enrolled last September, and they're going to tell you what it's been like for them to study here at the University of South Wales, to give you an insight as to what it could be like for you. So guys, hi.
Hi.
So what made you choose the University of South Wales?
First of all, I like the facilities here. The gym facilities, the library, the classroom is fantastic. And the next train station is very near to here.
Okay. So you don't need a car?
I don't need a car.
Very easy.
Yeah.
Well, the environment here, they're really quiet. I mean, and the view is really fantastic, which is really, when you really stressed or maybe you have a bad time, just look at the view. It's really trying to relax you, relax your mind.
Yeah.
And the lecturers here, the teachers, all what they taught us is world class. I mean, they are highly qualified. They all with a professional qualification.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm studying accounting and finance, so all these lecturers, they are fully experienced. They're with a ACCA qualification, so anything you have a problem, they were happy to help you.
Excellent. And how did you find the transition from how you're taught in Brunei to how they teach here in the UK? Is it similar? Was it an easy transition for you to make?
Well, actually there is a little struggling. In Brunei, what they do is just they teach you, and maybe at the end of the lesson, before the end of the lesson, they may give you some work. But in UK here, they're not really teaching you much, but they're just giving you work to let you think. Because I've been here for a month, and I believe that these two education in Brunei and UK, there's a little slight difference, but it won't hurt a lot.
Okay.
But if you're willing to work hard, it's possible.
So they're making you think outside the box and expand yourself, really.
Yes, I mean your knowledge. Expand your knowledge in your thinking skills too.
Excellent. Okay. So Spencer, you're studying accounting and finance.
Yes.
What are you studying, Javier?
I'm studying for business and marketing, and I'm taking the year 3 this year.
Year 3. So you came direct onto year 3.
Yep.
And do you think you'll be doing your masters?
Yes, I'm going to master, and actually I'm taking top up
Top-up and
packages,
masters.
yes.
Good stuff. So how did you find the accommodation? Was it easy for you to get a place to stay?
Well,
How was the whole process?
Well, for me in the beginning, I was looking for private accommodations, but I realized that because it's complicated, from the landlord, things are just getting harder and harder to do. So in the end, I gave up and saying maybe I find accommodation on campus. And luckily, Mr. Chris, they able to find me accommodations on campus, and I realized that living in campus, even though the price is a bit high, but there's a lot of benefit, which if you calculate it, it's actually that price of the accommodation is really worth it.
You've got your own peace of mind.
Yeah. And what's the benefit of living accommodation on campus is that there's a lot of events they will be holding, so you meet new friends.
Yeah.
And at least you get to know the experience, the environment before you're really moving out. And well, they have some practices such as the fire drill, which is really a good benefit, that what to do when there's really an emergency, so that we can perform well and maybe save our lives.
Yeah.
It's a good practice, but so if you didn't think the price, if you think in other ways, that it's really worth it. And
it's more convenient,
it's
isn't
convenient,
it, for you?
it's quiet, and we have a security outside, so if there's an emergency or you need any help, the accommodation service is 24 hours. Here they will help you.
And do you do your own cooking?
Well, back in Brunei, I don't really cook much, but since I came in here, I remember the first week my cooking was terrible, and slowly, that my cooking skill is getting better and better. So I think that's another way, to learn, is to sacrifice or maybe to test. Experiments.
Yeah.
That's another. I think that's another advantage. It's a good way to learn, so that it's faster than what we read in the book.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good benefit, to learn something new, and it's fast.
And you have your own shared kitchen in your accommodation block as well, don't you?
Yeah. So it's a good idea that they have a kitchen in a flat, so that sometimes we can call our flat. We can cooking together with flatmates or maybe with friends. That's way we can learn new things. We learn the culture. We learn, different language from a different country.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good idea because you experience something that you won't be seeing much in Brunei.
No. So it's been good.
It's
all
been
around.
great.
And how was it when you first arrived? Because you first joined International Welcome Week, didn't you? So what did you do during that week, and how did that help you prepare for actual enrollment week?
Well, during the International Week, the university will always organize trips going on like Bath or Kafile. Well, it just seeks to explore around how beautiful this country is and how actually the real story behind this country. It's been a lot of country, and I'm really, really excited, and I'm really interested in the story around here. The places here is beautiful.
It's a lot of history.
It's a lot of history, and the history is really exciting. There's a lot of story behind it, and it's really, really cool, I can say.
And JB, how have you found the weather?
The weather is nice. It's always, it's very cold, and sometimes it's raining.
Yeah,
this
like
is,
today.
Yeah, it's, very big raining. And I prefer weather like this to study. Back in Brunei, the weather is hot all day.
Yeah.
So sometimes some of the time we have difficulties on the weather. And mostly the weather here is very cold, a little bit windy.
A little bit of sun, a little bit of rain.
Yeah. I think that's a good sign, I guess, for our studies behavior. Because in Brunei, yes, it's hot, and it rains sometimes, but not most of them. But in UK, the weather, when I first came into London, the weather was 18 something.
Yeah.
That really, because it's really cold, but I find it really comfortable.
Yeah, it's not too hot, but you don't need a coat. You can just have a jacket or a jumper.
Yes.
It's pleasant, isn't it? It's not too sticky.
Yes.
Okay, so what would you recommend? What advice would you give to other Bruneians who are considering studying in the UK, or more specifically the University of South Wales?
Well, I will advise to all Bruneians out there is that try not to close yourself, in a box. Try to be social, try to open minds, because the people here, they are really open minded. They're not thinking negative. All these people here, they are open minded with a positive attitude. So there will be no negative attitude there. So if you're open minded, if you think positive, you think happy, I'm sure they will treat you the same thing.
Yeah.
The second thing that I think is the currency, because Brunei's money is double when you come to UK. So it's better to bring a not large amount, but amount of money that you think is sufficient for a month, and then try not to compare everything with Brunei money, because you might have a difficult time.
You just got to get into pound sterling mindset as soon as you get here, and you should be okay then.
Yes. Well, and it's better to come early, to get the environment, to get the culture, the experience here well, get a really good experience, so that when it comes to studies, you're ready. So no rush.
So for fellow students to prepare early, get their applications in and their documents.
Try not to rush, because when it comes to education in UK, they are really challenging, and they are top of the class. Their skills, all these are really, really high. So it's better to be ready, to be really comfortable, to be really relaxed when you came here, so that you feel no pressure.
Yeah.
And if you do, there is always someone out there who's looking for help. And who's out there, who you can look for help. So if you have any question, just let them know. They're happy to help.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
What would I suggest is you don't have to worry too much on your assignment and exam. It's because the lecturer is very helpful.
Right.
They give a lot of advice on the assignment when the time comes, and they give a lot of tips and a lot of advice for the exam. And you also can get a lot of information from the library. The library is huge.
It's 24 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the library service, they are really happy to help.
Yes.
We have an employability service known as the Grad Age. They were helping you on some work like the placement. If you start in the placement year, they are happy to help. They will be giving you advice about CV, interview, which makes you comfortably ready for the real world
Yes.
and get a job.
Excellent.
Yeah. You can even access to the library online. You can actually read the books and the journal, the article, the newspaper from online.
Yeah.
This is very easy for me.
That's good to hear. Good. And the other facilities you use, so the gym. Do you go to the gym?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very often.
Yes, well, coming to UK, all the physicals and your physical ability, I think, is one of the important
It's very
factors
important.
because the environment and the weather in the difference between Brunei and UK, it did really affect us. So I think health is one of the things that need to be put in mind when you come to UK, because the food here is a bit different. Because in Brunei, the food, I think the expiry date will be long lasting. But if you see some food like vegetable, the expiry date might be 3 to 5 days.
Yeah.
So which is very fast. So I think health might affect you when you came to UK. So it's best to join a club, to join a sport team, or go to the gym to make yourself fit, because to make yourself healthy, so that so nothing bothers your studies. That's one of the important
Be
things.
fit and healthy and study well.
Mm.
And are there many Bruneians on campus? Have you made many friends with other Bruneians, or is it nice because there aren't many Bruneians?
Because we live on C block,
Yes.
we met someone who study adult nursing, and he's from one part of Brunei,
Okay.
but in a small town called KB.
All of like.
But mostly in that block, mostly Malaysians. We met a lot of Malaysians, and we have a lot of different kind of different people around the world, like Turkish, Romania, China, Singapore, France, Brazil, a lot.
And you're making friends with British students too? Are they welcoming you?
Yes,
And
they're
you're
all friendly,
integrated?
they're very friendly.
I really admire their accents, when they talk. When I came here, I might find it a little bit complicated, and then slowly, I try. I really understand, and what they say, and it's a really interesting accent. Like I say,
Yes.
I really enjoy the talking.
Excellent. Excellent. That's good because you're here for a UK experience. And
Yes.
that's very important. So I think that's it from us. But if you have any last things you'd like to
I
say,
think there's one thing the Bruneian students will be very interested: the internet access.
internet
Yes.
access. Good word.
It's very, the speed is very good compared to back to Brunei.
Yes.
And the thing is, wherever you go, there's internet access. Yes.
So
because
you don't need to worry
You can't
about.
find something like that in Brunei.
No.
No.
Yeah, you can't
It's
find
very fast and it's
Yes.
free on
You can-
campus, isn't
in the
it?
classroom, in library, even in student union, and even gym. The internet access is everywhere.
Excellent.
So it's a huge benefit for the internet access here.
And you don't have to log in and log out all the time. You just have to log in once.
Once
And you're permanently connected.
yeah, I think that's a giant benefit that really improve our life here.
So you can remain in contact with family and
With
friends
friends,
back
yeah.
home
Mm.
very easily, which is important, isn't it?
Wherever I go, so I can anytime I can use my the internet calling, Viber and FaceTime, such apps. Yeah. sometimes my father call me when I'm in the library. I'm just a bit like,
Yeah, and it doesn't cost,
No, it's amazing, isn't
a
it?
giant benefit.
It is.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, and I'm really glad to see that you're happy and settled in so quickly. So hopefully we'll be seeing some more Bruneians.